Welcome back. G&T back at you one more time. Thank you so much for hanging in there. Hey, look, we went on a little hiatus, a little vacation, but we are back. One more time, we are back. And we're together.
Yeah! Woo!
Say it, George.
Whoa, watch your mouth.
Say it, George. You said it in the first episode.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Whoa. Keep it PG.
You can tell we're back.
What did I say again?
We come together.
Oh, that's old.
Yeah, you only did it twice.
Oh, hair.
Jeez.
What
As you
hair?
can tell, we're together for
Wait, did you just see George's hair?
What hair?
It's not much. I got to get a haircut. I'm nuts.
Haircut?
I need it.
So, anyway, so we're back.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry, because he was about to
person.
get a beat down.
Oh, my goodness. And look, I'm assuming us being away from each other online just wasn't good enough. So when we came back together, now we're acting kind of crazy. But it's good. Yeah. The energy is there, and we are back. So thank y'all guys once again for coming back and just joining us on this ride again. But I'm here, not by myself, of course. I'm here with my boys, Kev.
What's up?
Georgie.
Hey.
Frankie.
What's
baby.
up? Little baby.
Little baby.
Larry baby.
Oh, I thought you said little
Frankie,
baby.
Larry.
I thought we were shouting out artists here.
George.
I need you to.
I thought we were talking about
George.
Little Baby the artist. I thought he was a
George,
cool dude.
George,
Whatever. What am I supposed to say?
I just need you to pick up what I'm putting down, brother.
The down is down. It ain't picking up.
Oh, okay. And last but not least, Mikey Kondobi.
I'll keep it simple. Hello there.
And it continues. So today, thank y'all once again for joining us. We're going to talk some sad news. We're going to start off sad. Childhood like sad. But it's okay. Hopefully we have a better future. So we're going to talk some Cartoon Network and the things that happened and transpired with that whole entire ordeal of that network, as well as Blue Beetle. It's time for some spoiler talk. So Blue Beetle, Cartoon Network. Gentlemen, are we ready to roll?
Let's get it, boys.
All right. So
Yo.
just a week ago, I want to say it was about a week ago is when we got the news. We got the news about a week ago that Cartoon Network, the studio, the ones that produced cartoons that hit these guys' childhood and my going to my adulthood,
Tears.
real heavy, started in 1997, and they just went ahead and closed their doors officially just last week. And that studio came out some very strong, monumental cartoons and animations that really hit home for a lot of people. And so it will be remiss not to try to touch the things that that network did for us. So we're going to kind of just go over what y'all guys.
Well,
how you guys feel?
Let's just be clear. Cartoon Network is not going anywhere. Nothing is changing on that front. If you actually read into all of it, they are just merging everything within WB's actual house. So it's not gone, but the actual studio building, everything, everyone that was there has now had to migrate and move over. So it's going to be different.
So wait. WB has a great track record right now, so we shouldn't be scared, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, save that for another
every
episode.
time something moves, you lose a little bit,
Yeah.
because you're now merging it all within one house.
But it's being moved over to WB. So
Bingo.
right back to what Mike said. Nothing
to
ever
fear.
changes when WB touches it. Ever. But it's not going to be the same anymore.
No.
And the chances are it's good that the channel's still there because guaranteed they're going to be just whipping those reruns going like crazy.
Yeah, they are.
Extremely now because they can't have any new content.
Can you
because
get
the writer's
reruns
block
though
and
with
everything.
streaming? I guess there is still a cable channel,
Well, there's
right?
still cable,
Yeah.
so they'll still make some of
So
that.
it's still fun. Yeah, it's still something that's going to be there. But now it's no major overhead because you don't really have any bodies or employees that really pay
Yeah, this one.
or anything like that. And plus, what they really doing, in all honesty, if they can't write, and the actors can't act, then I'm pretty sure the drawers can't draw because it's all part of the art.
See, all that drawing was subbed out anyway. That's all subcontracted.
How
Yeah,
about
the
it?
drawing is the
So-
only thing that
Like you
can still
got your
actually go.
Tara Strong
but you
ain't
gotta
working
have
right now.
an actual group of people that are going to make the storylines first. So that's where everything's kind of starting off with this whole.
And you
SAG-AFTRA
still
thing.
need your voice actors that are actually going to fill in because the voice actors are on strike as well.
Mhm.
I will
It's
do
all
voice
in
acting.
One thing.
Mm-hmm.
Call me.
But so, and thinking back on like y'all guys' childhoods, and just looking back at the cartoons, we're gonna go like one by one. Like, what shows will y'all remember and miss the most if you never see it again? Yeah, I start off with you, Kev. Which one hit you?
For me, my favorite show from that entire channel was Ben 10. Ben 10 for me was my Spider-Man before Spider-Man, honestly.
Really?
I mean, I collect all the toys, the video games. I mean, it was an ongoing series that had reboot after reboot with him being older. I mean, the voice actor Yuri, I first met Yuri. Now he's our Spider-Man. They got the same guy who voices Spider-Man in the Spider-Man games. That's the same guy.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. How about
So, to me, I love all the shows that they had on there, but Ben 10 for me was it for me.
What was it? It was Ben 10, then Ben 10 Universe.
It
Wasn't
was-
there a third one?
It was Ben 10 Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, then
Yeah.
Omniverse.
Yo, it makes you
I have
wonder-
I have a small connection to Ben 10 with the action figures. I bought like
Mhm.
a whole bunch
Yep.
of them and made them all Green Lanterns.
There you go.
Because they all had that symbol in the middle.
Yeah.
And I just would print out like a Green Lantern symbol, stick it all in there.
How cool would it be if WB picked it up and decided to put it into their DC universe?
that would be
That would
thorough.
work.
That'd be
That
would,
would
right?
actually be thorough.
That would be kind of cool. Nice little migration.
Well, there was kind of rumors of actual live action Ben 10 stuff.
Ooh.
yeah,
Yes,
it was
please.
called Blue Beetle.
Yeah, Blue Beetle's fantastic. Yeah, but there was actually rumors of them doing a Ben 10 live action.
got you.
If not movies, a possible series. I don't know where it is. It's probably in limbo, Hollywood limbo at this point. But
I've never seen Ben 10, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of good character development in that show, too.
how long was it running for? It was running for a while,
A
right?
long time.
Because you
Yeah,
said there
a
was
long
like
time.
a different whole
Yeah.
segment, like a universe option.
And like I said, I mostly knew it from the toys, and I
Yeah,
would
they-
notice it
yeah.
started out like Ben 10, and they were all in the
They
package.
did a
Then they
lot
had
of like the
bigger
reboot
figures
stuff.
that were kind of loose and
Not reboot, but they kind of like it was like a sequel to the series because it was Ben 10 he was 10 years old, and then Alien Force they had him grow up to be like I think like 16, 17.
yeah, he was more of a
Yeah.
teen in that.
Yeah.
his voice dropped.
Yeah.
Everyone knew.
So they kept going on with it as the storyline and the time goes forward.
I mean,
which
if
is
it
pretty
ain't
cool.
broke, don't fix it. At
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Right.
Don't fix it, just change it. And
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, migrate it.
yeah, no,
Migrate it.
yeah, how about it? All right, George, what was yours?
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, wow.
Courage
Dude.
the Cowardly Dog was like the best. I mean, how many times can you hear "you sis" the whole time? It'd be so funny, and then just you'd actually have to try to interpret what Courage was saying. He was like,
but you always get the things I do for love.
yeah. So Courage the Cowardly Dog, I'd pop on, and to this day, it'll still pop on. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this for a little bit, you know. But yeah.
I mean,
They're just stupid dog.
the thing for me was growing up was like, when can we get a Courage and Scooby Doo crossover? And then we finally got
dude.
one like a couple
That
years
would
ago.
print
oh, did
money.
they?
Yeah,
I didn't
we
know
finally
that.
got
Those
one.
together?
Yeah, I
Right.
watched it. It's on Max.
Oh, it's on
They have
Max.
Yeah.
They did one?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch that later. There you
Yeah.
go.
It was like I think it was 2 years ago, a year or two ago. They made it.
Whoa.
Oh, dude, that's cool.
I missed
didn't
that.
They
know
finally got them together. It was pretty good.
Yeah, that show was great. It was such a weird show, but it was so
Oh my
funny.
God, yeah.
So funny.
All right, Frank.
All right, so probably my most favorite one isn't actually Cartoon Network like animation, but it was aired on Cartoon Network. That's Star Wars.
Toonami?
No, not
Oh,
Toonami. it
can-
was
can
Star
we all
Wars.
take a
Oh,
minute?
the original Clone Wars
Original
cartoon.
Clone Wars.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was under Cartoon Network.
Wait, the cartoon or the anime? The computer?
No, it was the
No,
cartoon.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
the
you
Gendy
had the-
Tartakovsky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
were
had
like
the
5-minute
anime, and then you had
episodes.
yeah.
Remember that Mace Windu one?
Mhm.
Oh man, that was so good.
Those were actually really good, and I'm actually happy that they wound up actually picking up that
They're-
and making it into the CGI version that we have.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
the cartoons were kind of dope.
They were.
Yeah, I liked it. It was cool.
Even though that wasn't actually Cartoon Network, it was aired on there. However, all right, we go Cartoon Network actually done Samurai Jack.
Bing
Yeah.
ending.
Yeah.
Dude, you
Samurai
just picked mine. You
Samurai
just picked my all-time
Samurai
favorite.
Jack.
I
A
just
show that they
finished
brought
it too,
back to
like
make
last
it
week.
mild.
Ah, So good.
I hate watching last episodes of things, and like I'm kind of out of stuff to watch right now. I'm like, all right, I got to get through Samurai Jack, and I just watched it, and it crushed my soul. That ending was harsh.
the crazy part is like you watch these older shows, and like everything that comes out now, it crushed his soul because it ended. He was done with it.
No, that
There was something that happened apparently.
yeah.
I didn't
Oh, well,
watch Samurai
wait,
Jack
crap,
like
I
that.
But they
forget.
did
Ending
brought
on
it
that
back
one.
though.
Okay,
Yeah, they did bring it back, right?
Spoiler alert. So Jack is stuck in time past 50 years, and there's these girls, the daughters of Raku, that go after him, and he ends up fighting them, and he kills them, and it turns out to be the first humans he's killed, and like it like affects him psychologically, and he ends up saving one, and he shows her like the beauty of the world, and Raku is wrong, and they form a relationship, and they fall in love. He kisses her, and she turns out to be the spawn of Aku. Aku created her through, stuff. And so, lo and behold, she fights Aku. Everybody comes in. Scotsman comes in. Everybody comes in. They fight Aku. Jack finally gets zapped to the past. He delivers the killing blow. Ashi, I think her name is, comes back with him. And he's like, we did it. Aku is gone. Let's get married. And she's like, let's get married. So she's walking down the aisle, and she disappears and says, Aku's not here, or Aku never was, so I can't be here, and she vanishes.
Oh.
Yup.
What?
Oh.
Can I
And,
can I
like,
take a
For
moment?
a child show, that's
And it
that's
ends with
pretty-
him under this like red Japanese maple tree, just like, oh, and it just ends.
But
yeah,
then they
and
bring
the
it,
animation for that is
Yeah.
nuts.
But
because
then they
it's
bring
like
it back.
Petals in the
They brought it
wind,
back.
Kind of,
There was
with
a
it.
video game that came out, but I don't know if
Because
you want
when
to count
they
that as
brought back
canon.
They wanted to bring it back
Yeah.
like recently. I would
Yeah,
say,
it's
like,
a
what,
it's
3-4
a
years ago?
Switch game, I believe, but I didn't watch
No,
that.
like the
No,
series.
TV show.
Yeah, that's what it ended on. That came out in 2017. The original show ended in like 05 or 07.
Oh, okay.
okay.
All right, so that's what we missed.
There was like the last 5 or 10 episodes that were like TVMA because he was killing humans.
How they bring it back just to end it like that, though?
Yo,
That's
dude,
so
it was so
sad.
good.
But that's also like we watch all these older shows, and older shows were set up like that. They were deeper and harder hitting.
Yeah.
Like when we were younger, we didn't get it, and you rewatch it, and it's like, oh.
But Samurai Jack was always about like the action and everything. That's where I first found out about the 300 soldiers of the Spartans. They have an episode about like the 300 Spartans that go into the hot gates of Thermopylae.
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 Yeah.
There you go. And that's how I first found out about that. But yeah, Samurai Jack, just ooze style, ooze like, it was so good. Ooze. It sounds better when you call it ooze.
These guys are just going nuts off of everything that y'all.
You know, I can't look at these two when I say
No, you
something.
can't. No, just
No,
look at
because
mine.
it wasn't even that. You went,
Ooh.
ooh. Yo, that last one was like your soul left your body. Like,
It was meant to be.
he had like the biggest epiphany of life, and he's just like, oh. Like airy and everything. It was beautiful. I want to sample that.
Yes.
Got you a mid drink, didn't I?
As we,
So back
why
to
you
the
can't
Kids
drink.
Network.
Yeah.
So I remember when I first saw Cartoon Network, I had to go over to my grandmom's house because she lived in Northeast Philadelphia and I lived in a suburb of Ben Salem. We didn't get it for like 3 or 4 years after, so I could only watch it over her house. But when we did get it, I would TiVo Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls, and shout out to my second favorite, Dexter's Laboratory.
Dexter's
yo.
Lab,
With
bro.
Mandark and all that.
Oh,
So good.
we're going one by one, Mike.
I think he just kind of named
Like,
all the
you
other
just
ones anyway.
kinda named the
Weren't we?
one that there was.
His
All the way
Dexter's
through.
Library
They're not-
was the
no,
one
it's
by
okay.
one because
It's
he
okay.
was
That
ripping
is-
off my
Yeah.
my Jack.
Whoa.
Pause. That was a pause moment. Pause. I think I may have to put pause over the screen when we do the editing.
So let's just call
Pause.
Dexter's Lab my thing.
Okay.
Carry on, gentlemen.
So Dexter's Lab is your second.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Let's go ahead. Let's go Snake. Jeez Louise. This is what we've been.
Missed this.
Frank.
All right, we're
Go
sneaking.
ahead. Yeah.
Weasel on back.
Man, here he said Powerpuff Girls. So yeah,
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls.
Oh man, Powerpuff
Yeah.
Girls.
That was a legendary show.
Totally.
It was.
Like that show reached realms that I
Can
didn't
we
know
name
that
them? Can
was
we
even
name
there.
them?
Blossom,
Buttercup, and then Bubbles.
Yes, Bubbles.
Yes.
Wow, I
always
just had a
forget
brain
the
fart.
last
Yeah,
one.
I did.
Damn.
Did you
Always the
know
last one.
WB recently, within the past 5 years, made a live-action TV show?
Yes,
I did
that
hear
they
yes.
flat out
They
canceled.
canceled it.
Yeah,
Yep.
like before
Thank
it even
God
aired.
they
Listen.
canceled it. It was
Like,
going
put
to be
your
terrible.
mind around that. It was so bad. WB was like, no.
Yeah.
There's certain things that shouldn't be brought into live action, and
It was-
Powerpuff Girls was one of them. Like,
It was gonna be CW.
Yeah, CW. Yeah, They
Yeah,
were like,
and it
no,
was
that's
like-
too- that's too
They
Super
big.
announced
aged
like
up.
the 3
It was.
actresses.
Ooh.
They announced it was Chloe Bennett, the girl who plays Quake.
Yeah,
She was
that's
gonna-
right. Yeah,
She was gonna play Blossom. Dove Cameron was gonna be Bubbles, which I could honestly say, and I forget the lady that played Buttercup. But yeah, they filmed like a pilot, and then they stopped. They're like, nah, this ain't good,
Nah,
so we gotta
we ain't
redo
doing
this,
this.
and then they
Like-
just flat out cancel it.
I mean, that show was just so far fetched. I mean, some scientists made some chemical reaction, and then boom, came out some little girls, and then there's a monkey that is a
Mojo Jojo.
Mojo Jojo is an evil villain, and then he makes the Rowdy Rough Boys, which I thought was kind of
the
cool.
Rowdy Rough. Oh,
Rowdy
man.
Rough Boys,
and him,
is dope.
him.
Yeah. They-
His little-
listen,
wasn't he wearing like a tutu?
yeah, that show
He
was
was
weird.
creepy.
That was the thing about Cartoon Network shows, that it's like no matter what weird stuff it was, you were gonna watch it, regardless of what it was. Like man in a tutu, a monkey with a brain, like it was just cool stuff. I'm
Three
like,
little created girls. Like
with superhuman power.
Yeah, what was it? It
Yeah.
was sugar
Come
and
on.
spice.
Yeah,
with
and-
everything nice.
And he accidentally knocks in like Brand X or something like that.
like I don't know. And it was always funny too. I don't know. Was it this show where they had the mayor and the mom was super tall and they would never show her face?
Yes.
yes.
It's like I never understood why they would do that. Like, it was always the dumbest thing.
That was the ongoing trend with
That
Cartoon
was his
Network shows like
secretary.
that. 'Cause
Secretary, yeah.
that was the ongoing trend because Dexter's Lab was it Dexter's Lab or another
No,
cartoon?
Dexter's Lab. His mom was the redhead in the
Yeah,
blue
they
all
showed
the
her.
time.
But like there
Maybe
was another
his
show
dad
that they
wasn't
didn't
in it?
show
I
somebody,
don't know, but they always had it where their face, it was like just their upper body,
Yeah.
and then their
not
head
the
was off.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was always off.
that
And
was
they're-
kind of like the ongoing trend with those
yeah, it was
late-
weird.
or early shows.
Like I thought it was just to be like symbolizing height, because obviously the guy was
maybe.
a little bit on the shorter side, and then you have, you know what I mean? But like, shut up, Kev. But yeah, it was just always weird that they had that.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
go ahead, George.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh shoot. All right, dang, I think we went through a lot of them. But you gotta go with Johnny Bravo, man. Do the monkey.
Johnny Bravo.
He was just the epitome of Elvis.
Man, I'm British.
Yeah, but you're not. All right, cool.
I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm not.
You're damn right. No, but no, yeah, that was a weird show too, because it was just like, dude, Elvis hair, macking on chicks the whole time. My idol at some point in my life point, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was cool. It was fun. It was a weird guy. He was just
Yeah.
the ultimate creep. But again, that flew back in the 90s, because if you do something like that, you're canceled. And it's like, yeah, come on. But you do that now. It's,
Besides, now you can't do that because it's stay in the lane of like this is the age group that you're hitting. Like, don't have anything for anybody else.
yeah, nah. But Johnny Bravo, that was my number 2.
For me, I really loved Teen Titans. For me, it was
that
Teen
was,
Titans.
Yeah.
Teen Titans.
With
Gave us an awesome theme song.
What was
Not
that,
the
High
Teen
Puff
Titans
Yummy
Go,
Yummy?
right?
No,
regular
the
Teen
original
Titans.
Teen Titans that was
Okay, let's specify.
fantastic.
Because I watched the Go the other day, and I'm like,
The
this is lame.
Goes, I can put up a go for about 4 minutes.
Yeah, like I
It's
can't
it's
sit
just
through
like
it.
bam, 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 and I'm like, this is
Yeah,
too
I
much
I also
for me.
can't
I'm gonna
stand the
get a
animation
nosebleed.
of it. Like,
The animation's weird. It should have just
Yeah.
kept it the way it was. It wasn't.
Everything about it is stupid.
It's old. It's uber childish. But where the original actually had like, oh, an adult can watch this still and be cool with it. You know what I mean?
So back to regular
So,
Teen
yeah,
Titans.
Teen Titans, yeah.
With Slade, Red
Yeah.
X, Natara.
The voice actors for that show was perfect. Perfect.
Do you remember the when it first came out? They had a Newgrounds game that was a fighting game.
Yes.
Remember
Yes.
that? Yeah,
Yes,
that thing
I
was
had
rad.
it was so good. That storyline with Robin, how he's picturing Slade there, but he actually wasn't there. That oh god, it was so good.
That was one of the shows, one of like the first animations that I remember that was like serious. Like
Yeah.
like Teen Titans was serious.
I remember when I saw it, I was like, "What the f is this?" And I was like, "All right, I'll give it a shot." And I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, it
Mr.
was
DC
serious.
had to watch it.
I did. Well, that was at the time too when like Marvel still wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
it
and
wasn't. That
DC was
back.
big on their animated series at that time too.
Yeah, DC wasn't doing anything live action that was
No.
worth talking
No,
about.
that
not
was-
at all. Yeah.
That was animated
Besides
time.
Batman, I guess.
Yeah.
Batman Begins was 03, 04,
Mhm.
Right.
and there was like the 8-year gap between
Batman Begins and Batman Beyond.
Batman
right?
and Robin
Yeah.
Oh, it was,
and Batman Begins. So it was probably in there.
yeah.
So
Nice try.
like that was the seriousness of. I mean that show was awesome.
The
That
only,
show was
the,
cool.
the cool thing about it was I didn't realize it until like I was older, but they had the same theme song, but it was different. They had the English version and the Japanese version. The Japanese version was, I believe, it was for episodes that were silly, I think, and the English was actually the ones that were serious.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's a
When
cool
Wait, I gotta go back
trouble,
and
you know who
figure
to
that out.
call.
Teen Titans. But yeah, I didn't realize that until after like years later.
I never knew that at all.
Maybe it was the other way around, but I know it was that. It was that sort of detail that they had. It was pretty cool.
That's not.
And they gave us an episode. They went into the future where Robin became Nightwing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The mullet and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't like how they did Beast Boy, how he became fat
Mm.
and he was in the circus. That I didn't like that. I didn't appreciate that at all.
But still, you bring out those characters like nobody knew who they were, and now kids know. You know, they know Beast Boy, they know Starfire, and that's a great thing. It's you took Marv Wolfman's.
They gave us Starfire's sister too. Like
Oh
she
yeah,
was in
Blackfire.
Legends.
Yeah.
Blackfire.
Like seriously, you took kind of like C-list characters, B-list characters that nobody knew about, and like you brought them to the mainstream, and now generations know them. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And think about it. We learned, at least I've learned, to appreciate that original animation more than I do the live action. Anything that they came out with when it comes to Teen Titans, I'd rather have the animation.
Yeah,
Because the animation, in
Totally.
my opinion, was so much better than what they was able to do live action.
If that came out circa 01, 02, Cyborg didn't get on the Justice League until 2011 or 7 with the New 52. Like Cyborg was still like a lower grade character, and
Wow.
everyone knew who he was.
Yeah, everybody knows who.
In fact,
of
it's
that.
probably
Yeah.
why he got put on the Justice League
Wow.
because of that show.
Dang.
Yeah, there you go.
The good old times.
Yeah, that show was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Y'all want to mention another show that
I think I got one more.
I got
I'm all
I
out.
got
They've already
I
been
got
said.
one
two
that's
more.
kind of two and one like big honorable
I
mention.
think I got two more.
Go ahead.
Ed and Eddie.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
You betcha sweet Bippy I did. That's oh my god.
Dude,
that
you know what's
show.
funny?
Mad.
I was watching something on YouTube the other day, and they had the guy who did Ed's voice, and it was like this, this dude from the '90s, all dressed up and everything, and he looked the part though.
Yeah.
He looked like if they did a live action Ed and Eddie, he would play the Ed.
I think Ed and Eddie was another show that we said how the adults were like the head part was cut off, but they had the whole body.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think that was one of them.
what was the board's name? Didn't the board have a name?
Plank.
Timber.
Plaque. Yep.
Yeah, it was just Plank.
I'm like Timber. Yeah, I was so wrong.
That show was funny.
George,
There's
did
just
you
three
ever
different
watch?
personalities
I
and how
watched.
they're friends. It's just and how every neighborhood kid didn't like them.
It was literally the animated version of like the Three Stooges.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
definitely.
Mm.
Yeah, and the way that nobody liked them.
Yeah.
And that was
And
like
their
one of their
world,
first
nobody
ones
liked
too.
Huh?
That was early on too.
Yeah.
Ed,
Yeah.
Ed and Eddie is like one of the shows that put Cartoon Network on the spot. Like
Yeah, because I think the original batch was Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab
That
came over from
Powerpuff Girls.
TNT, Powerpuff Girls, and I think it was Ed and Eddie, or was it Cow and Chicken?
Yeah, Cow and Chicken.
I think it was
Yeah.
Cow and
Yeah, it
Chicken,
was
yeah.
Cow and Chicken.
Wow,
But yeah,
I
Ed,
forgot
Ed
about
and
that
Eddie
too.
came in like real close.
I think they came out in '99, if not 2000.
Mm.
that was besides for all the Hanna-Barbera stuff that they pulled over. 'Cause
Yeah.
Cartoon Network is really the
You remember?
the ones that actually carried on the Hanna-Barbera legacy.
Do you remember when they would do like the Hanna-Barbera like outtakes?
Mhm.
They would have like Fred and Barney sitting there, and they'd be talking, and be like, "Oh, F this. I messed up my lines, boo boo.
Oh man.
And then the last one, the Avengers of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh, I forgot about that one too.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on a
That's
roll
so
with this
crazy.
one.
You're like,
That was Cartoon Network was my childhood. I watched almost every show on that channel.
see, I came in like the original generations when I was getting a little too old for it, and like your generation too on it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good show.
There's the Supernatural. It was pretty weird, a little out there, but it was very funny as well. But my favorite episode was the clown one where he's like, "Destroy us all!" He kept saying it the entire day, and then the one part he's like, "I'll eat the chicken. Destroy us all!" And then he jumps out the window and he goes, "God, that was a close one. I thought they were gonna get me." Ah! He jumps out the other window and he actually he ran out of windows to jump out from. So he went his entire way to walk next door to his neighbor's house, knock on the door, and you hear the neighbor go, "Well, hi, Billy," and he screams and he runs inside and he jumps out of his window because he was so scared of clowns.
You better now?
It was too much for you?
Yeah.
Thing had me on a gangster lean real crazy. I'm like, Jesus. I'm saying like, okay, sorry. Back.
No, too. Yeah. But yeah, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy was another great one for me, too.
I got one more, and it was Codename Kids Next Door.
Yes.
Oh, that one too.
Man.
Whoa.
Codename Kids Next Door.
I remember, oh my God. I remember getting ready for school, and that's the first thing that comes on TV.
Really? It came in that early?
Yeah.
I don't remember it being that early.
Yeah.
I would watch it
Not
after
the
school.
original release of the episodes, but they.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Codename Kid Next Door. It was so funny. The show was just. I liked how every episode when it started out, it was you get a word and the word broke down into like some freaking crazy
Code.
like
Yeah.
code, and it was like, how did you guys come up with this? Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, Codename Kid Next Door was cool. I actually dig that one.
It's the little girl, agent. I forget her number.
Which, the one with the hat?
Yes.
5.
No,
Number 5.
her voice is so iconic.
Isn't she Bubbles?
Oh,
though, too?
baby.
I know. One of them played Bubbles.
That's
Is that Tara Strong?
No, if I'm right, that's the one that used to be in a different world. Yeah, I'm right.
she
right?
was on Rugrats.
Exactly.
Yep.
Susie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like,
And,
I forget the young lady's name, but she played not Whitney. She played.
Google.
Thank you, Google.
Hey.
But no,
Google.
she's like after she left a different world, she became like a crazy voice actor, and she acted in so many different shows. But Agent 5 was every time I think of that show, I always think of Agent 5 and her voice because it was so scratchy and so low.
Yeah. Oh, what else is she in? I want to say I just saw her on like Big Mouth or something like a year or two ago.
Yes, that's her.
Cree Summer.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Summer.
okay. Who's she playing in Big Mouth though?
I saw her on something, and every time I hear her, I'm like, that's her.
I gotta go watch it again.
If
I like
I'm
that
right,
show.
she was she had a role on Animaniacs. She had a role on, like I said, that Codename Kid Next Door, Rugrats. She was in a lot of stuff.
She was.
It's crazy
A
how
lot of
like
stuff.
you'd find out all these voice actors did so much stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
Tara Strong.
Tara
She
Strong,
does she
everything.
was everything. She was
Raven,
Raven,
Harley,
Bubbles.
Twilight Sparkle, Bubbles.
did she do Tommy Pickles? No,
No, she was Dill.
she was Dill. That's
Bill.
right, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
She was Poopy.
Timmy Turner. I think she did Timmy Turner.
Yeah, I think
The
she-
crazy part is, all those voice actors back then had such crazy range.
Yo,
And they did so many things. Not to say that voice actors now don't do that, but like there's more animation out now that they can actually not have to do 10 different voices in a show or
And-
to do 10 different
and
roles.
bringing it back to Ben 10, she voiced Ben. She was Ben 10.
No way.
Yeah.
Did she? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
she was.
awesome.
She was Ben 10.
What?
And then the same guy who she was with in Teen Titans, the one that voiced Beast Boy, he did Kevin 11, the older Kevin 11 from Alien Force.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, man. People got around. Voice actor wise.
All right.
Okay, so was this on?
Mike, I think had one.
You got another one?
I got-
Yeah, because I'm out.
I got two. I got one that is two shows, and then I got a really big honorable mention.
Okay.
I got to go with Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, the continuation of the Bruce Timm universe that was the MCU before the MCU. that had every single character in it. It was all interconnected to Batman Beyond, to
Wait, did you say MCU?
MCU.
It was the MCU before that.
But that was the.
I
that
thought you said it was tied to the MCU.
No,
and then you
no,
said Batman.
no.
I'm like, wait, what?
No, it was so intertied with the Batman the Animated Series, the Superman Animated Series, Batman Beyond. There was Project Zeta was tied to it. Static Shock was tied to it.
Wow.
Static Shock was nobody talks about Static Shock.
They need
They were supposed to make a live action movie about
Conroy
that.
was on Static Shock. There's episodes with Batman.
Yeah. They were supposed to make a live action TV show.
And Mark
Or a
Hamill's
movie.
in it too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, you got to go with it. If they could just figure out, do this in live action, it would have been perfect.
I would wholeheartedly watch a Static Shock live action movie.
Right now.
Me too.
Yes. Like
Totally.
right now, bro.
Static
Right
Shock.
now.
Woo woo.
And give us Static Shock when he begins.
Yeah.
It would almost
Oh,
be like
dude.
our next topic.
You can do a whole like milestone universe. You can bring in Icon. You can bring in Rocket. You can bring in the what are the vampires? The you can bring in Hardware
Yeah.
and Blood Syndicate. That's the vampires.
Oh, gotcha. Yo, that show.
That's
That show. I'm so not you. Okay, that show was great.
What is his name? Mark
I don't know
the-
how we went to Static Shock and stayed there, but
If you really think of it, it all ties together because they're under one banner, Warner Brothers. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yup.
But again, like Cartoon Network ran with that. It's not Cartoon Network Studios exactly, but they're the ones that ran it, and they ran Justice League Unlimited, and they finished that series, and that series ends on such a perfect note of, I guess the bad guys get released, and Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are like, "You ready for this?" And they're like, "One last time," and they show all the villains run down the steps of the Hall of Justice, and then all the heroes start running down the Hall of Justice, and then Superman and Wonder Woman go in the frame, and it ends up Batman running into it, because that's where it began.
Oh, you know what? I think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's good.
Can we take a moment to appreciate how Mike knows how to tell these stories?
Can we take a
like
minute?
every time he does it, it's like dead silent. Mike's voice is perfect for it, and
we
it's
just listen. We just sit. He's telling
at
a
that
story.
point he has my attention. By the way he's doing it, he's like, "In a world."
And just not to bring it down, right now, but we just found out yesterday that Arlene Sorkin passed away.
Oh,
The original inspiration and voice of Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And that's devastating. Kevin Conroy went last year. Now her. Please keep an eye on Mark Hamill.
yes,
Yes.
Please.
Please.
Mark
And Mark,
Hamill
if you hear
and
this,
Bubble Wrap.
there are people out there that care about you.
I don't want
Take
him
care
in
of
bubble
yourself.
wrap. I want him in an actual bubble.
Freeze
Like
that
Bubble
man. Freeze him.
Bubble boy with a lightsaber.
All right, so you want my last one right now? That's my honorable mention.
At this point,
Yeah,
I think you're the
thought
only
so.
one that has
Well,
one.
because technically you said two. Because
All right, it's one. It's a continuation.
Damn it, Mike.
But I think we can all appreciate the block that was Toonami. Period.
Tsunami. Yeah.
Toonami.
Toonami changed my life.
I feel like Toonami was the way that the U.S. can put in anime.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We got Dragon Ball Z,
Cowboy Bebop.
Kai, Cowboy Bebop. Like there was a lot
Big
of
O, right?
Gundam.
Everyone, Big O? No one?
No, I didn't.
Big
see
O
that.
was great.
No, sorry.
No.
It was Batman with robots.
Yeah, I literally watched it for Dragon Ball Z Kai, and then when I realized that Dragon Ball Z Kai was like snipped in a way, because I didn't get the 5-episode long power ups like Goku would do in the original episodes. Like Dragon Ball Z Kai cut it to like 5 minutes. You got it like and then he changed. And I was like, that's supposed to be 5 episodes.
Oh man, I remember watching like the entire.
18 episodes
10.
later.
Yeah,
Episode 25.
yeah.
and then just from the mess.
And like, but it did
like-
nothing to him.
Wait, did I again?
We need to make a voice thing of just.
I'm getting
Frank
a little
on-
sound thingy and be like, oh.
Yeah, I remember watching like
Told you,
all the
same
way
voice,
from like
yeah.
when Raditz hit Earth, all the way to like Majin Buu and all that. Like I remember watching like and taping it on VHS all the time.
Dang, he said words you guys don't even know about.
Can you spell
VHS.
VHS?
VHS were these tiny little things that you stuck into a machine. If you pulled it out too quick, you screwed all
Oh,
of it
dude,
up.
then you gotta wind it.
Then you put the tape on top of it to go ahead and record over top.
And if you were really desperate, you could take like Scotch tape and put it over that square and tape over like a movie you bought.
I literally just
I
said
don't
that.
recommend it. But times were tough.
Okay.
He's in a time loop.
If times were really tough, when you couldn't afford a VHS, you had a beta. Do you remember a beta cassette
My
player?
dad had beta,
Ain't
and
that
it
crazy?
popped out of the top.
Yes.
And like beta failed.
Oh wait, I do know what that is.
Yep, they're about
Yeah.
this big,
Bro,
They're
I'm
about
sitting-
this
yeah.
big,
Yeah,
and
those things really expensive, like this small.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
They
I
were
said-
like super. I remember being super expensive because
No,
my
it was
dad was
super
always
cheap
like,
for us.
"No,
No, that thing was cheaper than the what because everybody wanted the VCR. And it was just like, yeah, there's beta. My dad was like, oh, I guess we're gonna have a beta. And
You know
there
what
we
sucks?
go.
Larry brought it up, and I'm like, "Oh, Larry, you're showing your age." And then he described it. I'm like, "Damn it, I know what it is."
Yeah, take
Do
that.
you remember like the wood paneling that was on the front?
But see, here's also the difference. Me and
the
you
virgin.
grew up in a time where, like, we knew all the old tech. These kids these days, it's just like computer. What came before? Nothing.
Family.
That is
You ever-
true.
Have you ever get a chance to watch a video about how kids can try to operate a rotary phone?
Oh, they're
no.
hilarious.
I think I want
Watch
to get one to
that,
test the kids out.
and that's going to be a lifetime of laughter.
When was the
Just
last
watch
time-
kids try to use a rotary phone?
Go home. Ask your kids if they know what a push call is.
Oh God.
A push through.
They're not.
I guarantee they won't. I guarantee they won't.
That's pre-call waiting, dude.
I guarantee that most people that's like say under the age of 20 has no idea what the AOL trying to connect to the internet sound is.
Bro, I just
Ask
had
them what
that.
the pound sign is. Ask them.
They know what the pound sign is.
Hashtag.
There's a hashtag, yeah. We just had that conversation at the house too. We were talking about dial-up, right? And if you were on the phone, you couldn't use the internet. And the kids are like, "Well, that's dumb." And I'm like, "Well, that's what I had." You know what I mean? Like, what else?
We
was
went
like
outside.
My grandmother called my house, and I was like, "Damn it, Grandma, get off the phone! I'm trying to watch this show."
Or it's like, hang up the phone, Mom! Hang up! I just connected. I only got 20 minutes on this card.
Yo, and then we
Remember
used to
that?
Yeah.
Yo, and then I used to have a
Yeah,
time
the
I
limit.
thought you wanted even
internet.
better. I only got. I remember the AOL disc. So it's 90 minutes free.
Like, I got 20 minutes left. Stop. Get off the phone,
I
Grandma.
remember thinking like the time for it to dial up. Does that count against my minutes? Because it would take like 4 minutes for it to be like, and you're like, start running, guy. Start running. The little.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the little. Oh my gosh.
Just to get online and then see that none of your friends were on yet.
Yep.
Yes.
So you jumped in a chat room
Used to
and you'd
hop
be
in
like,
AIM.
"Hi, I'm Mike. ASL." And ask your kids what ASL means. Nobody. Do you guys know what it is?
I don't remember. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Age, sex, location.
Wow.
I mean, that was all the information my mom would tell me not to say, so I didn't know what that meant then.
That was before we knew the internet was bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had
But
this
that was like the quasi safeguard. Like, you ain't asked that first, so you know you don't got
Well, that's what
somebody
it
that's
was.
not right.
oh my god, we just went throwback, and I feel old.
Yeah.
So
that's
back
what
to
happened.
Cartoon Network.
Yeah, Cartoon
but-
Network.
But you know what? That's actually a really good segue into the importance of us kind of like reminiscing over like Cartoon Network, because I mean, we're becoming old enough to see the rise of things and the fall of them too,
Yeah,
and that's kind of disheartening,
it is.
you know. And it's like I was talking to Frank the other day about the Hanna-Barbera. I remember when Hanna-Barbera went down. And that studio was so powerful back when I was a child. When I was a little kid, and you're talking about like the Jetsons and the Flintstones, and I mean those are powerhouse cartoons. And when you hear how that studio went crashed down and over, it was like, wow, really? Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get any more of that? Or when Looney Tunes became not Looney Tunes anymore. That was kind of that kind of hurts. You know, it's like you're not going to really have it the way you had it. And now Cartoon Network is an example.
Tell me, it's 1992 without telling me it's 1992. I remember being in Kmart and seeing a poster for the Jetsons movie.
Wow. Yes.
No, it was Jamesway. I'm sorry. I remember being in Jamesway
Wow.
and seeing it. That's what and Woodhaven Mall.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. It's 92. Look, it's sad. Like those were powerhouses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, godly. Like without suggestions, do y'all guys remember the live action Flintstones movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God,
Yes.
yes.
That's
And the sequel, Viva Rock Vegas.
Vegas.
Yep.
which was
So
horrible.
McDonald's tried to recreate like the Batman Forever cups with Flintstones, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Nothing about
No,
that
it
movie
didn't
or the
work.
Flintstones work.
Yo, we
When it
really
comes
could
to
just
that.
have a
No.
whole episode of just 90s throwback, man.
All I'm
Absolutely.
saying is Holly Berry was in one of them. That's
Yeah.
all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, the first one with
She
John
was,
Goodman.
and she was the Holly Berry. Yes, it was thirsty time. She was the
I
Holly
was
Berry
thirsty, all right?
in that
Holly
movie.
Berry.
She wasn't Holly Berry. She was Holly Berry in that movie.
All
Yeah,
I'm saying
that's
is,
amazing.
After
all I'm
Boomerang.
saying is,
Berry.
I could marry her and she wouldn't have to change her last name.
Lucky you. Nice.
Good job, Michael.
Now she's just off a rocker. I heard. So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, it was all downhill after Catwoman.
Do you still want her now?
I still want her.
No.
But
Nope.
But nonetheless, that was our kind of like our flashback to our feelings and our thoughts about the great works that Cartoon Network actually did. So for the ones that if y'all guys ever run across us talking about this, we thank y'all guys so much for.
I got one more honorable mention.
What?
Jesus
Because I feel like we
Christ.
wouldn't have a lot of the stuff that we have today without mentioning Adult Swim. And Aqua Teen Hunger Force and the Brack Show and Space Ghost Coast to Coast and I think it was called Phantom Studios. Who did
Was
all
it a
that.
Kazam too, or was it Kablam?
No, that was Nickelodeon.
That was Nickelodeon.
with
Okay, I thought it was something
with the
different.
Flesh. And Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve. Yes, Scuba Steve.
But Adult Swim had a big impact on me too. But we'll save that for another time.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we can literally have a 90s throwback episode.
Well, maybe soon we're gonna need to because
They won't-
content's gonna go.
That's another story.
Can I close this out now, Mike?
Oh,
So yeah.
oh.
Can we get buzzers? Like, zzz,
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
I'll get the one and be like, "Brr, dur, 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 dur."
air horns.
All right, Larry, I'm done. I just had to do that for you.
Finish up, George.
No, dog, go ahead, do your thing, dude.
Finish up, Mike.
No, take it before I think of another one.
Thank you so much, Cartoon Network, for the work, the blood, sweat, and tears that y'all put into your studio. And trust me, it resonated well. We was able to talk about your old works for about a good half hour, 40 minutes, whatever, how long we've been on.
Yeah, that was pretty long.
So, we thank y'all guys so much for all your hard work. It was
It's like 25
Definitely-
years, man.
definitely appreciated on so
I'm
many
25.
different factors and so many different ways. So thank y'all once again for your hard work. So we're going to go from Cartoon Network and let's go ahead
To
and
another
we
Warner
have,
Brothers thing.
Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle!
Blue Beetle.
This is where it gets
The
fun.
Beetle of Blues.
He said?
Blue Beetle, DC, James Gunn. Thank you.
Was it
The
James
best
Gunn?
movie nobody went and saw.
But was it
Dude,
James Gunn?
surprisingly.
Yes.
Are you?
This
Well, he
I don't know.
He co-signed it because it was already in production prior to
Yeah.
James Gunn picking it
Okay.
up. But
And I think there were
unlike
rewrites.
the Batgirl
yeah.
movie,
Ugh.
that was a go for him. He was 100% behind that. And if I'm not mistaken, James Gunn made a statement saying that Blue Beetle will be the first
Yes.
DCU character,
He
but
did say that.
not the first in the timeline or
And
whatever. that-
not the first. He'll be the first hero of the DCU, but not the first movie of the DCU, which
Correct.
is
Makes sense.
a way to say,
doesn't
like, hey,
make
if this
sense.
works,
It-
it's great. If it doesn't,
does
we're not
make
going to
sense.
touch it
It
again.
doesn't make any sense
It
at
doesn't
all.
because
No, because we're getting.
It's the first movie.
No, but we're also getting the monster group, aren't we?
But
Yeah,
that's my
that
thing,
they,
though.
And that takes place during World War II.
But he's not. So that's
Monster
the thing.
Mash, not Monster
They-
Mash. What is
That's the song.
Yeah. Why am I blanking on it? It's Frankenstein.
I keep thinking Monster Squad, but it's not
It
Monster
was
Squad.
Monster Squad. Wolfman doesn't have nards.
Creature stole my Twinkie.
I'm I'm lost, but I'm laughing.
You never saw Monster Squad?
You see Monster Squad?
No.
Dude, I have it on DVD.
You want to send it to me then?
Yeah.
I got a PS5 that
mom
picks up
had on
DVDs.
Dude, it is like,
VHS.
dude, they tried to make like the Goonies
VHS,
again.
man.
But they turned up the horror way too much.
Yeah.
Like
You like
way
it already.
too much.
I told you only one way to kill a werewolf.
Yep.
And then like,
Bogus.
if I remember this, this was a while ago.
Bogus.
What, like, then, like, one of them kicked the Wolfman and nuts. It was like,
Wolfman got nerfed.
Yep.
Wolfman
Yeah,
had
but
nerve?
like I said, like they turned it up too much because like the Wolfman is the one kid's dad, if I remember right, isn't he?
No, it was
No?
a random person.
Oh,
that they
okay,
wrote in.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember it being like way too much for when I was young.
He does look like him. I
Yeah.
will say that. It
I
did
probably
look
haven't
like
watched
him.
it in 15 years.
It's been a few years for me too.
We need to do like a Monster Squad commentary.
Yes.
I gotta find if it's streaming
Yes.
on
I
somewhere.
gotta see it. 'Cause
Man,
I don't know.
I
But
don't
really,
remember
like,
seeing this
they
movie in
really,
like 20,
they
30
really,
years.
they tried to make Goonies with like the Universal monsters, and like they turned it up too much.
Was it with the Goonies cast?
No,
No,
it was a
no,
bunch of
it
little
was-
kids.
But it was
Like,
basically like Goonies,
who plays
but like
Thanos?
they made it.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanos?
Yeah.
Josh
He's in
Brolin?
it.
Josh Brolin. Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Brolin's in
Brolin,
it, and a bunch of like other people. But
It's a bunch of young kids.
they start making like bullets and stuff, and
That's awesome, Mike. Thanks for bringing us back. Can we go back to Blue Beetle?
Boo Beetle?
Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah, Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Beetle, you my boo.
We're still all in reminiscing mode.
That's even to Monster Squad.
This is a throwback type episode. I like it.
Member
Okay,
Monster Squad. I member.
We already talked. We already talked about the old past. Now we need to talk about the now current, present, and future.
The
Okay,
Gunniverse.
yes.
Larry,
Yes,
Larry.
James Gunn did say that Bluebeard will be back, and he is in that universe, but he's not the first hero.
Well, you saw the end of it. You know for sure that
It'll be back.
He'll be back.
he's coming back.
Well, here's the thing, and after ending this movie, and I'm not going to go too deep into the spoilers, but if you kind of interpret James Gunn's kind of saying, if we're going to get that monster thing, which is back in World War II,
World War II. Yeah.
World War II,
Yeah.
Creature Commandos.
Creature Commandos, there you go.
There you go.
If we get in Creature Commandos, right, from the end credit scene, we hear about the prior Blue Beetle.
Yes.
Correct.
So he may not be the guy that we saw in the movie. It may be the first generation version of it. After Creature
They
Commandos.
Here's
also
where-
brought
here's
up
where I
Spider-Man,
think it can
Superman,
tie
and
in.
Batman.
Yeah,
Here's where I think it can tie in. I think in the new universe, there's going to be superheroes,
Mhm.
and they're all going to be out there doing their thing. And I think what happens is Superman finally decides to come out, and he's the uniting force, the moral guideline, the moral compass of everybody.
I mean, they did bring up Batman and Superman in this movie.
They did.
Did they bring
They
up
did.
Yeah.
Superman?
Yes. They when
Gotham shirt.
when he
Well,
gets the scarab and he lands back, he says, "Superman can fly."
Oh, does it? Okay, awesome,
Actually,
awesome,
they brought
awesome.
up Green Lantern too.
Yeah, Green Lantern's
Yeah.
in the
And they brought
beginning,
Bat-
checking
and
the
they also
scarabs.
brought Batman. Saying
Are we going to
Batman's a
cross the
fascist.
spoiler wall?
No, we
Yeah,
are.
of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude,
You
your
said you
vote's
didn't wanna
out.
get
We're
you
gonna
didn't
be
Well, I
wanna
didn't,
get
wanna,
spoiler.
I didn't
Yeah.
want to start off with the ending. I mean, I wanted to ease into it.
Okay.
I think we
yeah,
need to start with our first.
when they showed like the scarabs like running through space at the beginning, I was like, this is what the beginning of any Green Lantern movie should be.
And then guess what pops up? The Green Lantern thing.
Yeah, I
They
didn't
bumped right
notice
into
it.
that.
I gotta see it again.
Yeah, I
but
heard
I
it
saw that
popped up and I
article
was like,
online. I'm like, oh man.
Oh, hello.
So we should have gotten the Green Lantern first, but it kind of like bling and
Mhm.
went that way. Did the Grinch thing.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the Grinch was supposed to go this way, and then they hit another Who baby, and it went.
I didn't hear.
That was good.
Yeah.
Voice acting jobs. Let's go. Times are hard.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, Blue Beetle. I just look at Larry's face. I'm like, he's just so disgusted. He's like, we should have just did this online.
Hard- yeah, I'm telling you, so hard to just veers back.
You can't control me.
I know, that's the whole problem. Okay, but anyway,
Yeah.
Going back to the movie, yes, they definitely mentioned Superman as well as Batman,
I remember Batman and
Uh,
Flash.
and prominently showed off Gotham
Yeah.
with Gotham University.
I want one of them
on
hoodies.
his hoodie, and it was like I said. Well, remember we was sitting there. I was like, "Yo, this is Gotham."
Yeah, you were telling me, and I'm like,
I'm like,
what?
"Yo, this is Gotham," and it was like, "Oh, hold on, holy crap, it says Gotham!" So it was like that was cool. It was like those little small subtle things that you kind of saw that was like you knew that was the universe?
Two subtle things. In the city, everyone's like, "Oh, there's a big LexCorp building," but there's also an Ace Chemicals building.
There was. I did see
Yeah,
that.
it said like
Yup.
Ace, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, they did show that too. I was like, that's cool.
Once again, all the subtle things is what always kind of grabs you, and then you go like, "Holy crap, you saw that! Holy crap, you saw that!" And you get so happy when other people see it too.
You know what's great though? It's like they didn't shove it in your face.
Yes.
Like they still wanted the world to feel like it was a Blue Beetle world because it did feel separated from the DC universe, right? We didn't hear. We saw little things, but we didn't hear many things. You know what I mean?
It was refreshing. I will say that because it's not connected to anything, so it's not like you have to watch this or this to be aware
I think
of what's
that's a
going on.
smart move. You should make the movie to be the movie.
Yeah.
If DC can do something different, just make a bunch of standalone strong movies that have like tiny threads to each other.
I mean, yeah, they don't have to
The
be
characters are. Take
Totally.
it from me. I think the characters are strong enough. Does everyone? I don't think everyone thinks that, but
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we all think the characters are strong enough
to
on
hold
their
their
own.
own movies and
On
their
their-
own like
yeah,
universes
yeah,
by
yeah.
themselves. Well, great, awesome. Like I said, they don't need to be setting up the next sequel for every movie. It's great that they will lead to something one day, but make the best movie you can make with what you have.
Yeah, I mean, at
And
some
I
point
think that's
they'll
what they
thread
did with
together.
Blue Beetle. They saw it had potential and they upped it.
I think
And-
that was like the thing with this movie is its worst critique about it, that it's a quintessential superhero movie, is also the best thing about it.
Mhm.
It is literally just a quintessential superhero movie. You go into it, you get your origins or quasi origin, or really in this case we got like a deep origin that went pretty far back without it being like we
Mhm.
need to do an origins movie, you know, and then it has a whole entire arc that's fantastic, and the characters we got in it, like, who's your favorite character in that movie?
George Lopez,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he stole every scene.
bro, he was like the uncle that you thought would be like a lowlife, and he's the smartest dude in the room.
Yeah,
Like the fact that he understood how to set up that spacecraft, or what was it, the Blue Beetle,
The bug.
the bug machine flying, whatever. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, he was able to figure it out.
Dude,
And
he
then-
had that like camera jammer thing in the back of his Toyota.
Yeah.
I was at the movies today and they had a commercial for Toyota and it had Sholo in it. There was like a Blue Beetle Toyota Tundra commercial. I was like, yeah, they
That was a
did
good
that.
time.
what kills me was
Product
in the movie
placement.
where
Exactly.
he realizes that he takes the car. You just hear him screaming in
Yeah.
the background. and then when he takes it, he goes, "He took it." He just faints.
That man was about his car, I swear. And then, yeah, if anything happened to that baby, which it did, that was his baby, essentially.
Well, like y'all favorite character was George Lopez. Mine was Grandma.
Yeah.
Yo, Grandma had some.
Oh,
Yeah.
Grandma.
Like it was. Okay, I would say this. Not just grandmom. I would probably say the grandparents or the parent. Well, the father and the grandmother.
And the father, we got to
The
talk about it.
father,
all.
we
Yeah,
gotta talk
definitely
about
that
that
one. But like those two, like the in every major family, especially a close family, there's always a cog that holds everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Most times, it's usually the monarch of the family, which is usually the lady of the family, and it's usually the grandmom or the great aunt or something like that. Grandmom held that role, and she was amazing in it, and she didn't speak a whole lot.
No,
But when she did, it
When
was
she-
powerful.
Yes,
It was powerful words. Like,
no
granted, she
time
was-
for crying. We could cry another time. Right now,
that
ain't the time to
hit
cry.
right there,
Mhm.
bro. Like,
And then
you-
at the end, like, now's the time for tears. I'm like,
And
oh,
they all
man.
just start.
what? Listen, when Grandma had the hair up and she pulled it down, and you just see the ponytails, and Grandma was ready to fight, man.
But like, I like how it wasn't just like, oh, Grandma's got the gun, she's kicking butt. Like, no, they like Grandma did this stuff before she came over here, and she has a past, and she liberated. Like,
yeah,
that was awesome.
and how she concealed her past and not let her past dictate how she was going to be in the new area as she raised her family.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but she held on to that strength.
yeah.
No, the strength of the raising of the family is what you hold on to, and then that's what she showed her kids. Like, she was a powerful character.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So powerful.
Totally. And the way that like she is the one that's going to hold all of the cogs together, but she's going to take that back seat while the dad is there for the dad to lead and to show and say, "Hey, you know, this is what we do. We keep going. We look at the good times."
Do you want to dive just into dad?
Yes.
Can we please?
Because-
I don't know if I'm ready to do that. I mean, I'll do it, but it's I don't want to dig that up, man.
The dad part in this movie was that's gonna hit you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I definitely cried. More than a lot of movies. So like, first of all, for this movie to sit there and be how it was with George Lopez, you got the opposites here, right? You got George Lopez. He's the guy who's all about his car and he's crying, and it made us laugh. But when it came down to the father's role in this movie was more than just being the father. He really was the one that made Robbie, right? Is Robbie what's that? Robbie Reyes? No, it's not Robbie Reyes.
That's not Robbie Reyes.
Jaime Reyes.
Jaime.
I
So
mean, we're all
Jamie
thinking
Reyes.
Karate Kid.
Jamie Reyes.
Yeah.
I know. I'm thinking Robbie from Karate Kid, but Jaime. It's like your role was for your son to become this person, and the way that it happened was just so beautiful. I couldn't even explain
so many
how.
levels.
It was the scene where they don't show it. They just show George Lopez, the grandma, and the sister just all standing next to each other. And you just hear the monitor beep, beep, and then you hear beep, and they all three of them just broke, and that's what made everyone cry, and that's how I cried, because just you feel the whole movie was about family, and you just feel what they were feeling in that scene, and they all actually did it in different ways. The sister kind of like almost collapsed. The grandma was like crying, but then George Lopez was trying to hold it together, but he moves his head away and just tries to hold back the tears. All three of them did an amazing job in that scene, and it really pulled all of us. And
And if I'm not mistaken, it was silent. Like you said, only
yeah.
the beeps were.
Yeah,
there.
it was
all
just
you
the
hear
monitor.
is
the
the
heart
monitor
monitor.
Yeah.
beeps.
And you didn't hear them cry.
You didn't
No.
hear it, and I think
No, you
that's
didn't.
All of them break down.
I
crazy.
think you may have heard the sister scream,
But it
because she
fainted,
did
though.
scream, but it was faded.
It was starting
Yeah,
to fade
they
out.
pulled out all of the sound of like the craziness going around them, the ambulance and everything.
Right.
You know, so it became silent in that moment.
It was a simple scene, but it just played with everyone's heartstrings.
Because that's in all honesty, when you're going through trauma and situations,
That's what happens.
and
That's what happens.
you don't pay attention to anything else that's around you. Your sole purpose is just paying attention to what's right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you the building could be collapsing and everything, but what's going on with that?
Yeah.
That's what got your attention. And when you see the anchor of the family go away, he was the one that was, I had a heart attack. I know. It's okay. I'm good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Look, all I care about you is you graduating. All I care about is we making sure that we try to eat. All I care about is we finding a roof over our heads. We got this. Everything is going to be good. We're survivors. That's what we do.
Yeah.
The whole movie was, there's nothing we can't do.
Yeah, we're Reyes.
Yep.
You know.
Because we're together. We have each other. That's the strength.
Mhm.
And then when you have that core person go,
Mhm.
you literally felt the weight in that scene. And it's amazing.
And then you go, what, few scenes later, when our main character is dying, and you
Oh,
get
Let's not go
get
there
this.
yet.
Oh,
Let's not go
Yeah,
there
that's,
yet.
hold that one, bro.
Hold that there.
I'm
That's
not
a whole-
ready.
whole other thing.
I wasn't
Let's
ready.
not go there yet.
that
When-
brings back the father there. Like
Yeah.
it's just.
When I saw that, my mind was with Jaime. Like, you're not there. You can't be there when your dad passes. I wasn't able to be there when my dad passed. Dude, it was a gut shot. It put me right back in that mentality. It was a very powerful scene. And the whole family, it was out of left field. I was not expecting it, but it got real.
Yeah, that whole first act of the movie was there was a lot of fun going on, and then you hit the second act, and you're just like, that
And
curveball.
it wasn't like you would think like any other movie. It would be like at the end, like, oh, he's in the hospital, he's okay. But now they're like, no, he's And they hit that other scene.
No,
that,
get that scene.
and-
We're gonna talk about that.
All right, we can jump to that
Can
right
we
now.
jump to that now? I feel
Right.
like
Before we jump to that scene, that like right after that happened, that's when the importance of the grandmom came in.
yes.
Yeah.
That's when the
Yeah.
monarch
Oh
stepped
man,
in.
when
That's
then
when-
it was battle
that's when
mode.
that's when she, like went from that quiet grandmom in the back to being, now it's not the time to cry.
dude, she
Yes.
had to step back into the role.
There were,
Yeah.
Exactly. She had to,
Yeah.
because Dad was there. Dad was there. I fall back. He's controlling and doing everything for the family. Now he's gone, and my family break up. Right back into the role.
Yeah.
Now it's not the time to cry. We have time to cry later on. Now it's time for action. We got to get this done.
Yeah.
And the strength of her, you felt. Like, it's funny because if you notice the scenes with her, beforehand, the camera was up, looking down on her.
Mm-hmm.
After he passed away,
It went.
the camera went either level or underneath her.
and looking
pointing
up.
Wow.
up at
All I'm thinking of is like her
Damn,
with her
Larry,
sewing.
you're good.
I'm thinking of like her on her like sewing machine with her like little tape deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like just the visual of her. They showed her grow.
Mhm.
They showed her
Wow.
become more powerful, more surrounding. Her aura changed,
Yeah.
and it was a needed thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, well, guess what? The person that's going to control and do what he has to do with his family is now captured. We got to get him because he's going to be the leader of this family. Let's go get him. And that was powerful. But we want to talk about this one scene, which was the most powerful scene in the whole entire movie. I'm going to go ahead and introduce why it's the most powerful scene in this movie.
I have
And-
my theories on it. You go first, buddy.
So, earlier in the movie, Jaime and his father was talking. And Jaime was like, I don't know what my purpose is in life. And he asked his father, Dad, do you know what your purpose in life is? He said, son, I still don't know what my purpose in life is. My purpose in life changed as soon as I had you and had your sister. My family is my purpose. So I don't know what my real purpose is. And then he dies. That's the layup for y'all. Go ahead. Just go
All
and go.
right.
It's the most
All right.
powerful scene in the whole entire movie.
As a father, I learned, and I'm kind of quoting a Kevin Smith movie here, but it rings true. I am not the star of the show anymore. My job is to take a step back and put the spotlight on her and let everyone know that she's awesome and raise her up to be as awesome as she is. And when he said that, my purpose was to be here for you right now. And it's just that was another like, oof, was not expecting that hard of a scene. It was
Even just to like, all right, so Rob, they go into the whole battle. They get Robbie. Robbie now actually has to fight, and that whole fight is just brutal.
Yeah.
It's TK after TK after TK. He cannot survive this fight, and you get this. I'm gonna call it the world between worlds.
Yep.
You know, it's not him in heaven, but it's this world between worlds. It's Robbie, we all keep on saying Robbie because that's his
Jaime.
Karate Kid character.
Jaime.
Jaime is dying, and he gets that vision of his father. It could have been anybody. It could have been something that's just in his head. I believe it's truly like that actual appearance of his father for this. That's the way it felt when they wrote it.
I don't think that was in his head, man. He was seeing
No, I think
that.
I think it's
He was
absolutely in that
in-
world between worlds.
Yeah.
And all the candles behind his dad and everything,
Wait,
like
we gotta-
beautiful.
We gotta picture this for you guys. So, Robbie's ghost
Jaime.
form. Jaime. Damn it! Jaime goes. He's in this fight. He dies. Right. He walks into his family's living room, which, if you guys seen the movie, was priorly destroyed when this all happened.
Mhm.
You walk in. There's candles behind, and all you see is just a black silhouette, and then you turn into his father. And the breakdown of Jaime's just core, he just broke down. He he didn't get to see the passing of his father, and he sees him in this afterlife thing, and he just breaks down, and he's almost to the point where he doesn't know if he can do it himself. He can't take on this guy, you know.
He's ready to go with his father.
Ready to go
Mhm.
with his
Yeah.
He's
father.
ready to go with his father.
He's
and,
done.
And
Yeah.
the part that got everybody was like what Larry said, is that the father said, "My purpose, I figured it out. It was for me to be here with you, to make you strong." And that's exactly what happened. And that scene was just so beautifully done. I've never seen a scene this well done outside of Coco. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
It was just like
Mm.
Coco
was-
and Encanto.
It was I wouldn't even say Encanto, bro. It was
Yes,
Coco for
Coco.
me, because that scene where the family came together, and it was just like really uplifting, because you think that once they're gone, and then you're like, no, like I'm still here. I'm watching you from above. You just gotta do what you gotta do, and I'm here for you if you need me. You know what I mean?
My strength has never left you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, my strength is always here with you. And what Jaime end up getting was just his confirmation to what his family has taught him forever.
Yeah.
Is that family is forever. And even though dad is gone, dad, at the end of the day, he can say, my father left us, but he served his purpose.
Yeah.
And his purpose was to be here with me when I needed him most.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And boy, did he need him.
Yeah.
And look, it's
Yeah.
every parent, every good parent, I'll put it like this, every good parent, one that loves their children, every parent wants to have their children's purpose fulfilled. And they want to be the shining light and the push for their vision to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And to see that and go like, my purpose, ultimately, my purpose was to not be alive right now. My purpose was to die to be here with you right now.
Yeah.
My purpose, to let my strength push you forward. My purpose. And everyone wants to try to find their purpose. And they nailed that. They
Mhm.
nailed that so strongly. And I'm like, this is a comic book story.
This is Blue Beetle.
Beetle.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't just
Nobody
a comic
expected
book
that.
movie.
Like, and to have his dad like tell him like how proud he was. Like, he didn't get to say bye to his dad, and then he finally gets to see him, and like he gets to tell his dad, and his dad gets to be that push for him. You know, how many people would want that be able to say something that's your dad that's not here.
Yeah. I mean,
That last conversation,
yeah.
that last talk,
Yep.
and quiet.
Yeah. Very peaceful. It
It's
was super peaceful.
because-
Serene.
No,
Mhm.
because Matt, going back to the scene when we first saw Pops, and he got up out of that chair, it wasn't just candles around him; it was candles going past him.
Mhm.
There were
Yeah.
And
It was like
cascading
infinite.
thousands of
hundreds
candles.
of thousands of feet all behind him.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was the most beautiful scene you can see. And it all has to do, once again, that's why I said it's the action-packed Coco. Because
Mhm.
because if you remember Coco and how candles and everything just was so prominent.
Yeah.
Like when they was worshiping their family, or they was praying for their family that's in the afterlife, what was always there? Candles.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. And to have him be there, just surrounded by candles, no other light, the only thing that's lighting him up is just the candlelight. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. I'm sorry. That was out of left field for me. I was not expecting
Nope.
that type of power.
As I'm saying, like any other movie would have been like, oh, he had a heart attack, and they would take him away. He'd be like, oh, he flatlined, let's take him away. End scene, we're all families in the hospital. He's great. Nah, that's not what happened.
I almost didn't even make it out of that scene. Like,
Yeah, that's
I was gone at that point.
Like my father always told me, and I literally say this to my kids. My father always told me, my goal is to have you better than me in everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal.
me plus one. At the very least, you got to do plus one of what I did.
Absolutely. Like if I'm here, my objective is to have you here.
Bingo.
And if you have to go by my strength to do it, then that's what it's going to be. But my goal for my kids is to be better than me.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been
Always.
the goal. And they nailed that. That family dynamic nailed it. With all the silliness of George Lopez, they nailed that family aspect, the importance of family. It's like, Vin Diesel, shut up. This is exactly
it's
what family.
Shazam didn't even touch that.
No, it
It's a
didn't.
Fly in
No.
my face. But
No.
Shazam didn't even touch that.
And they could have.
They could, especially
They
with
should've.
an adopted family and all
Yeah.
that. Shazam 2 was okay, but it lacked a lot of the heart of the first one because Shazam 1 had that gut punch at the very end with his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a different level.
And
And to even just
no,
I want to talk about a different scene when they go in Carapax? What was the villain's name? Carapax?
I think
Carapax?
something like that.
Red Beetle.
Red Beetle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
OMAC.
big red machine.
OMAC.
OMAC.
Yeah. And they went into like his
It is
family
Carapax. Yeah.
dynamic, and they didn't need to go like. I was talking about like Monster Squad. They turned it up to like too much. They turned it up a lot for his past too, because
Yeah.
the whole time he's like, "Oh, your family makes you weak. I hold this locket that has my family. Your family makes." But you see like a woman and a kid, and you think, "Oh, like." Oh, his wife and kid. Oh, that's no, dude. That's his mom and him.
That was deep too.
And and then he turned on Cord at the end, and I wasn't expecting that either. Everyone talks this movie had a lot of cliches, but I think it turned the script in a lot of interesting ways when it could.
I mean, just going back and watching like people's reactions to this movie, and them trying to place it in the form of like it's the DCU's version of Ant-Man 1. And I don't know if you
saw
guys have seen that.
That is a
But
stretch,
this was
man.
nowhere near that level. Like, don't get me wrong, Ant-Man 1 was good, but Blue Beetle was better. Blue Beetle was it for me. That was such a good movie, and you can't compare the two. You can't. Like, granted, yeah, you got the kid and Ant-Man, and they're both struggling with jobs, and they're trying to take care of their family, and so on and so forth. But like, it doesn't even compare, man. It doesn't compare. Blue Beetle was its own movie, and I don't like the fact that they're trying to compare it to Ant-Man, just because it's a bug. Whoop-de-frickin' do. It's a bug. All right, cool.
Even like
There's on both sides.
even the beats they're trying to pull, they're like, "Oh, you're talking about the legacy character." No, you have a legacy character who's missing, and you have his daughter again.
Yeah.
but she's not trying to do anything different.
And to be honest with you, that wasn't even like the real Blue Beetle. He didn't have the scarab.
Mm-hmm.
He was a makeshift Blue Beetle. He was like the Tony Stark of Blue Beetle.
That was one of the cool things about back in like the Justice League International days, and with Ted Kord and all that. Like, he had the scarab, and he never unlocked the thing, like,
That's
ever.
what I'm saying, yeah.
And then they killed him in 2004-ish. They like just killed him, and then the scarab woke up, and they got the Jaime. So he went 30 years, 40
Yeah,
years
he
as a
was-
character, never unlocking the Beetle.
Yeah.
He
So
just
I like
had
how
it.
they kept that, though. That's kind
Yeah.
of cool. Because they could have been
Oh,
like,
that was
he
awesome.
had it, and,
All the little details that they put in there, and the different inventions that like work kind of,
they were quirky.
and they were quirky, but they were like
They were cool.
all the tech that he was sifting out of the Blue Beetle, but he couldn't ever unlock it. Like, that was so interesting.
I think the funny one was, I don't know, it reminded me of, and Larry, you're going to love this, but Miss Marvel, the arm bangle thing.
Oh, the
And the sister
gamepad?
had the little, like the arm pad, and it had like different things, and it would just like
The power glove. That's what it was. It was
Yeah,
the power glove.
and it would just get these like auras of like a shield or like a big old fist, and I'm like, that's Miss Marvel. That one you can tie together. That's definitely it definitely felt like a Miss Marvel thing, but I thought that was funny though.
What's really cool about the stuff they did with Ted Kord? Ted Kord was a goofy, silly character, and they kind of like got that. Like, he was kind of a half-ass character.
Yeah.
He got purchased from DC. Ended up putting I want to say Charlton Comics out of business, and they ended up acquiring the rights to the characters, and that's where you get your Watchmen. Watchmen was
cool.
Night Owl is Blue Beetle. Rorschach is Captain Atom. Comedian is Peacemaker, and Silk Spectre someone else. But they ended up bringing Ted Kord into the Justice League satellite era, and he was a silly character. He ended up hooking up with Booster Gold, and they were the silliest character, and it was like a best-selling comic. It's known as the Bwahaha days, because they would always laugh with a Bwahaha. And I really enjoyed seeing the Blue Beetle stuff. Like, they didn't shy away from it, which I thought was cool. Because you could easily just leave that out, and they didn't.
But and again, it was one of those things that they didn't throw at your face. You had to either be a complete fan to notice these little nuances that they threw at you, or you just completely missed it, which is fine if you missed it because the core movie was still good. But those little like Easter eggs were like, oh, they threw that in there.
They had like, so he uses, Ted Kord is also like, I want to say a pacifist, like he doesn't kill, he doesn't like to fight and all that. So he has the BB gun, the Blue Beetle gun, which is this big, goofy looking, dumb thing that shot BBs. Didn't really hurt people too much.
I'm glad they kept that though with Jaime and saying that he didn't want to kill, because the suit wanted him to kill multiple times. He's like, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Like, we're gonna just fight him.
But
Did any of
in
you
the
guys-
end, he was about to kill him.
Yeah, and
then Scarab
it
said, "We
pulled him
don't
back.
kill."
And,
Yeah.
you know, so the suit itself, the AI had like an arc. Did any of you guys watch Young Justice at all?
very little.
I watched a little bit of it.
Do you remember like the Blue Beetle stuff in that?
A little, yeah.
With season 2?
Yeah.
And that suit was always like ready to kill, like the whole time, and he was always fighting.
It was a solution to everything.
Yeah.
So speaking of the suit, can we talk about that suit?
It looked great.
That
Yup.
suit
Oh,
was,
that was
so
fantastic.
good.
That was like the best way you could ever do that suit.
the suit, not even just the suit, but the way that the suit was like first put on when he had the scarab put on his back. First of all, the scarab
Oh
thing
my
just going.
God, that's
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah, But the suit, and then it turned into like this, like I don't know what it was, but it was like a beetle's texture, almost like bug texture skin.
Like a hive.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a hive thing.
Yeah.
And then you got the blue part on top, and it was like gross but cool at the same time. I thought it was
Well, it
nuts.
was like that nano kind of.
Yeah.
They grew them like that.
Yeah,
Like
It reminded
like
me of Stark's
nanotech
suit.
almost.
Yeah.
yeah.
I love how he was trying to fly. He was trying to get the suit to come out. George Lopez goes, "Why don't you force it to come out?" He's like, "Oh my God, you're a genius." I know, but what did I say? And he jumped, and in the slow motion of the suit coming out, and his clothes, disintegrating and everything.
Oh, that was a funny touch, because then they like caught him butt naked on the couch, and he's like, "Oh."
he was a kid, just like he was a baby.
And his sister, oh my God, his sister was like flat out, "I don't care, I'm gonna roast you, boy." Like it was like they were always back and forth, but there was such a nice love-hate relationship. Not a love-hate relationship, more so.
They felt like a true
It was a
like
brother
brother
and
and
sister.
sister.
Brother and
like,
sister.
Yeah, I'll watch the door, sister, while you take a dump.
Yeah, like and she's like, what would she call it? It was like I'm gonna take a rich shit or something like that.
something like that.
It was something like that.
Blooper.
Beep.
Cut it with him.
I'm gonna take a rich.
Frank, we're never gonna let that go.
No,
Nope.
bro, that's going
But
on there.
The idea how the suit can actually create any weapon that he wants.
Yeah, that's
Or
cool.
any weapon that he can
And the
think
weapon
of.
they chose. I've
ahead.
read
Go ahead,
that the
this is
sword
great.
that they use in the end,
Mhm.
the actor actually chose that. He
Uh-huh.
went to
Yeah.
them and said, "I want that sword."
Yeah, that's what I told you guys at the movie. Like, yeah, that was his choice because he's a big anime and he's a big Final Fantasy fan. And he chose.
And he did the stance, man. He put that thing
Yo,
over his back, and I'm
man,
like,
kick with his leg.
Kick.
what was it? The Buster Sword?
The Buster Sword.
The
yeah.
Buster Sword? Yeah.
Mhm.
Smooth with it too. Yeah, the kicking like a slow motion.
That was his.
swing
That's his
around.
Cobra Kai moment right
And
there.
the
too.
fact that
was.
the Blue Beetle said, "Good choice."
Yes,
Yeah.
that would make it so great. Good choice. Like, yeah, let's go. And then the very first movie does is that big old giant slash.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay. In other words, I think the G&T crew really liked that movie.
Damn right we did.
Damn right we did.
yeah.
I'd go
very
see
good.
it again, actually. I'm ready.
Man, look, I just didn't have time to.
I'm
but
gonna
yeah,
throw
haven't
it down.
either, yeah.
Best movie this summer.
It's,
Best movie this summer.
I'm with you on that one, brother.
Okay.
Granted, I have not seen many movies this summer because I have no life, and I've been here. But
At the studio. It's still
Look,
beautiful.
I went and saw Mario today for the first time.
Great movie.
Great
It
movie.
was good.
Yeah,
Turtles is still- Turtles
Turtles
is
is
still
movie,
number
though.
one.
Huh?
Turtles is
You
still
still
number
think
one.
Turtles?
Uh-huh.
It was, yeah.
Turtles was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed Turtles. I think this was better for everything we just ranted about. The family, the action, the choices that they made, everything was just perfect about it.
I think that's.
I
on
think
Blooper
that.
you right now, because I really did have a heart jump.
I'm Thumper.
Yo, because it tickled my back, bro. Like,
Yo, keep that to yourself, man.
can you pull your hand away from me? Get your hand. Oh, okay.
So yeah,
So-
me saying that like Ninja Turtles was the best movie is taking nothing away from this. This is easily 2 or 3.
Now, are
2
we
or
saying
3.
are we saying May is part of the summer?
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
I think to me, Guardians was the movie this summer.
See, I liked Guardians, man, but Blue Beetle was
I
really
still think it's
Maybe
Guardians.
like even I had like low expectations for Blue Beetle. Like
I think that might have been
honestly
what it
did.
is. You know what it is? Like, we definitely were just like, it's a DC movie. It may be okay. It may not be okay. But since it was amazing, we're just like, damn.
Stop
that
me if you
bar.
heard this one before. DC movie is actually amazing. No one sees it and hates it.
That's why I wanted to ask you.
Sounds
why,
familiar.
Yep.
why do you think that? Like, this movie is like really good, but no one's seeing it. Even the DC fans that talk about how it's better than Marvel, they don't show up to their own movies.
And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because I can guarantee you, 30 days from today, that will be on HBO Max.
Bingo.
Yep.
That's what happened to Flash. Flash
they
was
are-
number 1 streaming.
They're not putting these movies long enough in theaters with the expectation that they're going to put it on these streaming platforms, which is fine, but you're taking away the movie-going experience. Okay?
Let me put it this way. Flash is premiering on regular HBO Tonight TV. Not even on the streaming channel.
And when did that
Yep.
come out?
Exactly.
That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
So you're saying, hey, I may know this is a good movie, but the fans won't know it's a good movie, and they're not going to pay for it. Who's going to go see a movie that they're possibly thinking is going to be okay for $19, $20 a ticket? And then they're like, well, I'm already paying $19, $20 a month for a streaming platform.
Yeah,
I
HBO
can-
ain't cheap.
It's not.
The other problem is you have, like, if you're a big moviegoer, you're looking at all like the critics and you're listening to what all the talking heads, even us, are saying about a movie. And for the most part, when you do, there's a disparity that I've seen all summer long, where the critics have gone and looked at a movie and they said, it's a terrible movie. And then they've watched its premiere and been like, it's not making the $100 billion they expect it to make. It's a flop.
Double
Like,
dip.
no, it's not a flop, because when you read the comment sections, people are going crazy like, this movie was fantastic. I loved it. This movie is going to become a cult classic where everybody's finally going to see it. And then the studio is going to sit there going, why have we suddenly sold a ton of DVDs and streaming views of this? But before, in the theater, we didn't, because they're making these movies and they're expecting to make billions of dollars out of them.
Well, they're also paying
You know.
billions of dollars for these budgets, because some of these budget movies are
Well,
crazy.
that's the thing. I think Blue Beetle was still like 160 million, 150. It's still relatively low, but the first weekend, I think it did 25.
25, yeah.
And that was just in the States, though. That wasn't worldwide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
But yet, Gran Turismo, I always say it wrong, just released this weekend, has made $17 million.
on a movie that probably
And-
didn't need a lot.
Everybody is praising it out the wazoo, that it's a fantastic movie. But you look at Blue Beetle made 25.
And everyone's crapping on it and saying
yeah.
it's a flop.
Everybody's crapping on it. But you also look at Indiana Jones made like 25. Like, you have a lot of the movies this summer have only made right around that 25 mark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Barbie.
The ones that-
beat everything.
It's been
there are
Barbie,
some that have
Guardians,
like stood out. but
Oppenheimer.
everything else is like,
Oppenheimer has a weird. It's the first movie to cross like it's like 500 million or something like that, and never make it to number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
It sucked that
So
it
what
came
do
out
you
of
would
bad
call that?
timing.
Like an achievement, a weird achievement.
It is a weird achievement.
It never made number one, but it crossed like the $500 or $600 million mark.
Good job. Also, sorry.
Barbie did so much.
A Barbie movie.
I
And
mean,
I heard the movie's not good, by the way.
I actually heard it was
I
great.
heard it was.
Yeah, I heard it was
people-
fantastic.
It wasn't that good.
I heard
But-
mixed things. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, look.
I'll watch it before I like watch it with my kid though. From what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I've heard
I
too.
heard too. Yeah.
But you know what? The one thing I have noticed too, like there's no more of packed out movie theaters anymore though. You know, like
right.
That's why AMC theaters flopping.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
not be surprised in a few years we will no longer have any theaters.
and that's so.
That
I mean,
is,
the
man.
movie
That's gonna
experience is so important for so many people. I mean, I know it's important to all of us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's nothing like going to a theater and seeing and hearing what the theater can provide.
Going back to my dad, to bring him up again. That was like my number one thing I did with him. I would not be the same person I am today without going to the movies all the time with him. We went to everything. Franklin
Same
Mills,
thing
man,
here.
Woodhaven, all the time.
So it's nothing like the movie experience and the drawing and the excitement
Mhm.
that you can get from going to a movie or knowing like we're going to the movies in 2 days.
Even
Like-
even today, we went. Today's National Cinema Day.
I know,
It's,
I
it's
miss-
$4
Yeah.
tickets, and Regal did $6 small popcorn and sodas.
Oh.
So it was like $10 per person.
I mean, back to
And
what you
that
said.
wasn't packed today. Like the movie theater was hopping. I guess you couldn't say it was kind of hopping, but we went and saw Mario, and it was, I don't know, maybe there was 20 of us in there.
Yeah, see.
But back what you said when we were like, oh my god, we're going to movies into this. Remember when Spider-Man: No Way Home was coming out?
Family.
You and I could not stop talking about it for weeks.
Mhm.
We were counting down.
We're going.
We're going. And
And we're on the way.
yeah, like we counted down when that movie was coming out. I haven't had that experience in a while, and to hear that there may not be a theater and it's all just gonna go to streaming. It's like,
That's horrible.
I mean,
it's
bro, don't even.
it takes the fun out of it.
It's not even about the streaming part. I mean, we got the strike going on, so like savor these moments because they may not be here next year.
Yeah,
Like, there's a lot of movies that were slated for next year that are going to be completely flopped to 2025 and 2026 and even past that.
Dude, they're talking about pushing Aquaman back.
Yeah.
I'm like,
DC,
just get
if
it
you were
done.
listening-
Get it done. You're
I thought it
having
was
this
too.
right now. Pull the Band-Aid. Delay Superman another year. Get as far away from all this train wreck as you
Yeah.
can.
I mean, because like, what do we have that's going to be able to fill those voids? Because most of these companies are not going to drop anything until this thing is.
I know
Gonna
a
get
company
bunch
that
of
has something.
Blumhouse, cheap horror movies.
Listen, I'll go back to watching indie movies. I'll go back to those festivals and see them. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, that's all we're going to have.
And it's sad because, heck, we just drove past it. Now we're, the ones that may not know, we're based in Philadelphia, and where this fantastic studio is right in the heart of South Philadelphia, and not too far away. I would say about a 2-minute drive. Used to be one of the biggest movie theaters in the city. Right there is Riverview, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Riverview
yeah.
Theater. I mean, this theater holds like 20. It was like 25, like 25 theaters,
Yeah, it was big.
and it's gigantic. Dude, it's closed.
It's been closed.
It's like when
boards
COVID,
on the windows and everything
when
chained
COVID
up.
hit. When COVID hit, it was over. It literally closed down, and that was it. And like that was a movie theater I used to always go to because there was always a movie popping in there, and you can always go like 1 or 2. You can spend the whole entire day in there.
Yeah.
So it was like that was the movie theater that I absolutely loved growing up. It's gone, and I hate to see like other movie theaters, like the smaller ones. I fear for the small ones.
Yeah.
The Woodhaven,
Woodhaven.
yeah.
Yeah.
ones.
Dude, I remember when
brand.
Woodhaven.
No, you know what?
Yo,
Woodhaven will survive. They
I
just
remember
renovated that
when
whole
Woodhaven was
thing.
inside the mall. I think I saw Terminator 2 inside like the Woodhaven Mall.
Oh, wow.
Woodhaven will survive because that's a theater that is set up to do the small little parties. You can host an event here. You can bring your guys here, and we're gonna do a game night. You can bring
I
your
just did one.
family
I just
here
did one
and
of
do a
those.
movie. I know you did. That's awesome.
So it was like $250. We did we played like Nintendo Switch on a big screen on a movie theater. Dude, it was dope. It was amazing.
$250? That's it?
I think it was
Yo, we about to have a
$250,
PS5
$300,
party.
something like that. But we did Golden. So for the culturally nerdy and geeky in Bucks County Facebook group, we threw our buddy a birthday party, and we played Switch. We played the Shredder's Revenge. We did GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy.
Ooh, that got real.
Yeah, it was
That
kind
was
of
so
nuts.
intense.
And
On
it was
the
a fun
big
time.
movie
But like, I
screen?
hope that's not what. Yeah, full movie theater screen. Yeah.
So we basically going from watching like blockbuster movies to like, hey, we can play the Switch on.
Bro,
the
it's a
bigger movie.
30-year-old's
guess-
dream. We have a party at a movie theater.
But
No, it's cool, but it's the same. It's a shame.
But
Yeah,
think about it like
exactly.
this, like we said about next year. There may not be anything. I could see all the theaters just having events and parties, but also playing like, oh yeah, come Friday we'll play Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, like there's evergreen
stuff
movies.
like that.
Today is the 30th anniversary. Right now, I should say, is the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park, and they're playing Jurassic Park 3D. 3D, dude.
Wait, you had me at 30 years, bro. Come on.
Yeah, it's a 30-year
Yeah,
anniversary.
we feel it old.
Damn, son, where'd you find
Clever
that?
girl. Like outside of like comic books and Star Wars, like Jurassic Park was like my movie jam. I flipping love that movie. That soundtrack. I had the theme on cassette. It was just the theme, Journey to the Island theme by John Williams. Exactly. I had it on cassette and it would just loop.
Sounding good there.
John
Record that.
Williams
That was nice.
knocking it out of the park. No
John
pun intended.
Williams never can fail in my eyes, man. I'm just saying.
Oh,
But yeah,
best ever.
Especially when. There you go. I'm sorry. I know we jumped into Jurassic Park, but one of my all-time favorite scenes when Professor Grant and the girl, I always forget her name, went, yeah,
The hand thing?
Yep.
yeah,
I love that.
And-
This leaf shouldn't exist.
and they get off the Jeep, and they just look up, and then they look up, and you felt the rumble of
And you got
what's going on.
You got
and
the
then
theme
that theme song hits. Yeah.
And then it kicks into the theme. Oh my god!
No, I'm talking about like when he looks up,
Yeah,
and then you heard, bam, 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 bam. Then you heard, "Welcome to Jurassic Park."
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
holy crap! Like, that was everything for
it
me.
still holds up. Those graphics are you can kind of, but it still holds up to this day, 30 years later. And that was kind of like the big push for CG graphics was that movie.
You know what's crazy? And I know we just completely jumped subject, but
Yeah, sorry guys.
growing
It's what
up,
we do.
used to drive. We used to take the Greyhound from New York to Philly every so often.
Yeah.
And my sister, when she was younger, the turnpike back in the day was full of trees. Like if
Yeah.
you guys remember, like it wasn't as open as it was before. So we're driving through these tall freaking trees, and my sister's probably like maybe like 3 or 4, and she'd be like, "Look, Daddy, Jurassic Park," and it'd be like a plane flying by with all these big trees, and she would just say it was like Jurassic
Oh, that's
Park.
awesome.
And it's like to make you think like, hey, yeah, that movie looked like it really could happen. And I heard that they are working on something like that in real life. I ain't gonna lie.
Dude,
yeah.
there is an entire there is an entire 6 movies that say don't do this.
Well, apparently, apparently this corporation didn't watch those, so now they're making a real life Jurassic Park.
All right, we're gonna try and as
gonna
much
talk
as I
about
want
that.
to talk about Jurassic Park, I want to talk about Jurassic Park. You know what I have?
We're gonna die!
I'm just thinking about it. You know what I have? I have the original movie guide. Tops. Remember I did that Batman Tops book?
Oh, yeah.
I have the Jurassic Park version of that. I gotta do that.
You gotta put that on there.
I still have it. I
So
bringing it back to Jurassic
I
Park
think
was an
next
evergreen
year-
movie that they can put in theaters all the time.
next year we're probably gonna see a lot of old retro movies.
Jurassic Park.
Kind of
Jurassic Park.
like they did for COVID. Remember when
here's
COVID
the
was
thing.
running
Yeah.
like theaters would run like 2 or 3 movies
and
at a
then
time.
do events and parties. I expect that's probably what's gonna happen next
Yo.
year since there's no movies.
I want
we
my
need
33rd
to start
birthday at
it
a movie
now.
theater.
We need to start
go.
it now.
Let's go.
2024 Monster Squad in theaters.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm down. I'm down. Let's go.
I'm down because I haven't seen it, so I'll do it.
There you go.
Or here's the thing. Next year, all the theaters just need to replay Blue Beetle so everybody that missed out on it can get to go see it
Oh
again.
wow! How we bring it right back to where we were supposed to be.
Yeah, Frank, you had a
Thank
job.
Frank. No longer the newbie. All right.
Hold on, before we get off of Blue Beetle, I'm doing it. You know what?
Come on.
Whatever.
It's only rare. He doesn't do it often.
Let's take a moment and thank Jose of Baby Gorilla
Yeah.
Comics.
Yeah. Jose. Jose,
Baby gorilla,
Jose,
baby gorilla,
Jose,
baby gorilla, baby
Jose.
gorilla.
Remember me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was actually going to do that too once we were done talking about Blue Beetle, but I'm glad you did it for me. Thanks.
Yo, bro, you always come in clutch. One love, bro.
AKA, we saw the movie like 4 days before the movie came out. Thanks to Baby Gorillas and Mr. Jose Torres.
Jose Jalapeno on a steak.
On the deek. That's But thank you, Jose, so
bro.
much. Once again, we appreciate you more than you will ever know. You are a special connection for this G&T crew. So thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you do for us, man.
Hell yeah.
Really, really do. All right, so look, we're going to go ahead and close out this episode. This is going to be part 1. We're going to shut them down before we on to our episode, and that won't be good. So we're going to shut down this one here, part 1, and prepare ourselves for part 2, where we're talking. Go ahead, Mike.
Ahsoka.
The crystals.
I came prepared for this one,
The
fellas.
dirty
I
crystal.
came
I got
prepared.
him that.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna bring it because I'm like, it's Ahsoka's crystal.
Part 2, we're talking Ahsoka.
Let's get
Let's
it,
go.
baby.
Adios.